Welcome to the SportsBros Podcast with your host, the head of creative, Eddie Cool. Also, the almighty B-Live and the money man, Scotty D. And now, without any further ado, here they are, the SportsBros. What's going on, world? This be your boy, Eddie Cool, and welcome to episode 10. That's right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the Sports Bros Podcast. I am beyond ecstatic that we have made it this far, 10 episodes, because sometimes some upstart podcasts, they'll get 3 and 4 episodes in and realize, you know what, this ain't what it's all cracked up to be. But guess what? This is episode 10. We're going to keep going. This is the 10-piece Cajun dry rub or whatever flavor wings that you like of the Sports Bros Podcast. And as always, I'm flanked by the one, the only, the almighty B-Live.
This be your boy at it again, once again. And I'm more of a garlic parmesan wing type of person, but 10 wings sounds pretty good right now. Now I'm hungry. Thanks. Not going to make it through the podcast now, but stomach rumbling right now. But it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I'll let my hunger subside because I got some things to say about certain things that's going on in the world today.
And as always, we got the heat-seeking, he's a heel, in my Jim Cornette voice, Milson himself, the money man, Scotty D.
What's up, boys? You have to bear with me today. I'm a little sad today. I'm a little blue. I was really kind of holding out hope for a job interview that never came my way. I really thought eventually the Lakers were going to call me. Ooh. I had to have been on that list. I know the list was a mile long, and I was really hoping that the Lakers were going to call because I was going to take that job. Honestly, I was going to take it.
Listen, they were going through coaching candidates like the Kardashians do, man. But I digress.
Ooh.
I digress.
Jab, jug.
The knife is sharp.
I don't know. See, Eddie Cool, I'm not sure you realize what Kardashians do to men. Just ask Bruce Jenner. I'm telling you, they might castrate you.
Run while you can.
Wow. See, some. I done messed up some snowflake somewhere. It's like, don't talk about her that way. I don't care. I said it. I'm gonna say it. All right, episode 10, off to a wonderful start. Eddie Cool, take charge of this. Go ahead.
Let me go ahead and put this Amtrak back on the tracks again. And as always, thank you to the listeners. Welcome to episode 10 of the Sports Bros Podcast. And as we mentioned before, this is pretty action-packed. We're going to make this a fun episode. You thought last week's episode was something. We're going to try our best to, well, we don't know if we're going to blow this out of the water, but we're just going to give it a good old college try, whatever the hell that means. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off with the NBA playoffs.
Woo!
Yes.
Man.
Yes. The stage has been set, but before we go to the matchups, let's just talk about this, in my opinion, the most intriguing series in the playoffs so far. The most intriguing and the most entertaining series at the time was the Portland Trail Blazers and the Denver Nuggets. CJ McCollum came through for the Trailblazers.
Man, and I predicted this. I remember I want y'all to go back to the last episodes. I called a Portland victory, but I'm telling you right now, I thought it was Dame time, Dame Dollar. After CJ McCollum decided to jump on the mic and they don't know who he be. I'm telling you. Man, what an amazing performance. He said, you know what? I'm the hot hand. Let me hold it. Let me get that. Let me get the rock. And it was over before it started. He could not miss. And it just makes the playoffs that much more exciting just to see stars rise to the occasion. And so, man, CJ McCollum, I salute you, sir. I'm telling you right now, I think Portland will give Golden State a run for their money. I'm telling you, they are the hot hand right now. Yeah, I said it. Scotty D, come at me, bro.
Ooh.
Well, hey, I tell you, it's hard to argue against Portland. You heard the expression, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And back in December, the Knicks waived Enes Kanter, and that dude has been big time for Portland in the playoffs. He's given them good, solid minutes, and he's given them a presence, man, down low. And like you, I thought Damian Lillard was the guy that's going to take over the series, but he deferred to McCollum yesterday, and it was the right move because CJ McCollum, I've never seen him go off like that. I don't watch a ton of Portland games. If they play the Lakers, I might look at them, but just seeing him in that zone yesterday, that's the zone that all players dream of when you start throwing it up and everything goes down. Having said that, they're going down to the Warriors. They're not beating the Warriors. I'm telling you that right now.
Ooh, they're not going to beat the Warriors. I watched a good portion of the game. I was watching some of the Carolina Hurricanes and Boston Bruins game, but I was watching the majority of that Denver and Portland game, and it was a slugfest, man. That was big time for them to go in there and really pull out that win on the road in Denver, Mile High City, thin air and everything. Somebody get my breathing take. I'm about to pass out, but it was real impressive, and it shows how far that Portland has come as a team, and that just goes to show, hey, them 8-6 in Oklahoma City, that wasn't a fluke. That was a real deal. And yeah, man, Enes Kanter, man, he's really giving them a presence. He's playing some inspired basketball. He's playing with a bum shoulder and a possible extradition back to his home country, Turkey, for political reasons. But you're not here for all that. This is SportsBros Podcast. But yeah, I mean, Enes Kanter's giving them a presence, and they're the Blazers are making a strong push to, but hey, this ain't gonna be no cakewalk for the Warriors.
Let me say this real quick because Scott, you made a point of where one man's treasure is another man's treasure when it came to the Knicks. Can you honestly say that the Knicks are even allowed to call somebody trash?
No.
Their entire organization is trash, and then on top of that, their star players getting beat up in on the sidewalk and pushing women and stuff like that.
Hey, B-Live. News flash. He plays for Dallas now. They traded him. That's how trash the organization is. But go ahead. Go ahead.
You know what? That's terrible. See, I don't even be paying attention. That's how bad everything is going on in New York. But I digress. But yeah, Enes Kanter, CJ McCollum, Dame Dollar, Dame Time. Man, I'm rooting for you just because Golden State is clearly the bigger talent. But it's one of those things where I want to see what we just saw with 2 Game 7s on Sunday made for absolutely amazing NBA playoff basketball. And that's what we want to see. That's why we watch the game.
I agree with you. And I did not root for Golden State against Houston, and I won't be rooting for them this series either. I'm going to pull for Portland because I've always been a Damian Lillard fan. I always liked him, but this is a pretty good team. I'm going to root against Golden State just because they've had their turn, but they're going to win it all again. It's just that simple. They're just that good. And actually, Portland, maybe they'll do what Houston didn't and take advantage of the fact that KD may miss a couple games here. I'm not sure what his timetable is to get back, but before he gets back, if you can pounce him, yeah, maybe you can't. Maybe they can pull that upset. But Golden State's so loaded. Klay Thompson and Steph stepped up so big this past weekend. It's almost like we wrote them off as they're going to lose this Game 6 to Houston because Kevin Durant's not there, and it just didn't go down that way. I mean, the other Hall of Famers just stepped their game up.
Yep, they did, man. And that's what you're supposed to do, like as a well-rounded team that's fundamentally sound, live by the three, die by the three, and running that offense, man. Hey, if one person can't step up, next man up, next man up. To steal a line from B-Live's beloved Clemson Tigers.
Hey, he said it. He said it. I didn't do it. He said
All
it.
roads lead to Dabo.
Dabbleville, USA. New T-shirt coming soon. But yeah, it was just Houston had one job, man. They had one job at home, but they couldn't do it. And now for the fourth time in 5 years, they'll be sitting home, chilling, watching the finals one more time. Kawhi Leonard, yeah, that's what he did in front of Joel Embiid's face last night, okay? He laughed at him. Man, what a way to end that game last night.
I'm without words. And that is a very tough position to be when you're recording a podcast. So you don't get to see the face, you just get to hear me, and I'm just wow.
That's the beauty of our podcast.
Yeah, you shut up.
You sure is ugly.
You got a face for radio, man. I tell you what, man, I oughta. Just to let everybody know, it's a very strong possibility that on June 3rd and June 4th, your Sports Bros will be together for once in the lovely city of North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, recording together for the first time. Just a little plug in there, but I digress. So we'll get to see each other's ugly faces in the same spot.
Ugly mugs.
Man, how did he get that shot off over a 7-foot-tall Joel Embiid? How it bounced? 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces here, there. Just what happened?
Yeah, that made it more painful. That was painful for Philly watching that ball dribble around the rim before it went down. That was painful.
God. Like Joel Embiid, I get it, bro. You will be clowned on the interwebs for crying on camera. You will be the subject and the picture of many memes to come.
Oh, they busting him up already. They busting him up already. The internet shows no love. Don't be on the internet crying. Like Daniel Cormier and Michael Jordan. You see how that worked for them.
Hey, I salute the man with a milkshake Monday toast, man. I salute him.
Yeah.
God, that I'm telling you, that hurt. That hurt. But yeah. Kawhi Leonard he is now among those elites. That was a Game 7 tie ball game. 4.3 seconds to go. I'm guessing something. It was 4 point something. Don't judge me. But literally, there's only been, if I'm not mistaken, there's only been one other time where there's been a game winner like that in a Game 7. And the guy just happened to be this Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I'm just saying. There's only been one other time.
I think that was a Game 5, though, wasn't it? It was against Cleveland. That was before they went to best of 7.
Was it? Oh, and that is correct.
It was a deciding game, but it was actually a Game 5. So I think this is the first time in a Game 7, if I'm not mistaken, that a shot ended a series like that.
Oh, by the way, the anniversary of the shot over Craig Elo by Michael Jordan, we just passed the anniversary of that. And I know Craig Elo wants to put his head in the dirt every time he sees that. I would want to do it for him, but it was a very good series, man. So this next series is going to be, Golden State and Portland, we kind of know what we're getting into, but we think it's going to be a slugfest. And Milwaukee and Toronto, that's going to be an interesting Eastern Conference Final Series. All right, guys, who you your predictions in the East? Coming out the East, coming out the West. Who you got?
Well, I got Golden State, obviously, because I picked them to win the championship this year in 2017. So I'm not going to stray away from that pick. Yeah, I think I like the Bucks. I'm going to ride Giannis. It's hard to argue against Kawhi Leonard, especially after what he did last night and the momentum they got. But I think it got lost in the fact that the Bucks dominated the Celtics. They beat them in 5, right? Was it 5? Yeah, it was 5.
Well,
It would have been 5. I'm going with the Greek Freak. Greek Freak versus the Warriors.
Greek Freak versus the Warriors. That sounds about right. It might not be Kawhi's time. Might not be. And speaking of Kawhi Leonard, Max Kellerman, player. I ain't apologize for what I said. You can hang that up and cross cancel that like long division. I am not. I am not retracting what I said.
See, Eddie. See, that's where you go wrong, right there. See, you almost got away with what you said, and we not mentioning it, but now I got to roast you.
Oh boy.
I gotta do it because Kawhi Leonard definitely he might have proved Max Kellerman right, and this is a hard pill to swallow when it comes to last decade and the greatness of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and just what we grew up on, and now seeing these new emerging talent arise, and it's hard to compare. But there's just certain things that, I mean, Kawhi literally put his entire team on his back yesterday.
He did that.
And I mean, just like that was a Game 7 performance that I don't say it solidifies the fact. Max Kellerman still might have been a little drunk that day, but that was definitely a shock and awe factor. And it's one of those things, statements like that does make a sports broadcaster. Like if you're that person that said that about somebody, such a bold statement, that's huge.
That is.
That's huge.
That's very huge.
So, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I believe in momentum. I think Toronto finally makes it to the NBA Finals. I think they do it. Momentum is so key, and it's right now. If they find a way to slow down the Greek Freak, which is a tough task, but I think Toronto has that firepower, and now they have that player. Like Kawhi Leonard is a next generational player. Like he is definitely top 5 in the league when it comes to talent. And with the way he took that game, he now has that could be the deciding factor, because I think both of those teams are very talented, incredibly talented. I think Toronto now has that it factor.
Yep, they do. They have that it factor, man. And just think about it. You had to trade away DeMar DeRozan and get Kawhi Leonard. This sounds familiar. We got rid of this guy, and this guy automatically. What situations does that sound like? I can't quite put my finger on. I forgot, but it'll come to me. It'll come to me eventually, sooner if not later if not sooner. But yeah, we get rid of you, and then we make you better, and then boom, here it is. We didn't need you in the first place. Could DeMar DeRozan, was he the one that was holding up the greatness of the Raptors? And then the Klaw, the best two-way player in the game right now, he comes through, and he might be laughing his way to the finals.
And I'll admit right now, when they made the trade, I was like, I felt like they were the same player. I was dead wrong.
Ugh.
I was completely wrong. Like I knew Kawhi Leonard was better than DeMar DeRozan, but I'm still trying to figure out. Now let me look back. Did San Antonio trade away Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green for DeMar DeRozan? And I think they picked up somebody else, but I can't even remember. It's a moot point. The Raptors got 10 times better just that quickly. And now I'm telling you, momentum, I'm going with the Raptors. And as much as I want to see Portland in the finals, I got to predict that Golden State is going to win. And it's going to be like it. I'm going to say this, though. Just I wanted to update everybody real quick. They're looking at Kevin Durant being out for a couple weeks minimum. So he might be out until at least Game 5, maybe Game 6, if it goes that far, of the Western Conference Finals. So that is
That does
That's a game
change things.
changer.
Yeah, that does change things, and I think Go said, but you know, KD, go relax, man. We'll hold it down till you get back. So that's our matchup for the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals. The Bucks and the Raptors in the East. The Dubs and the Trailblazers with the dynamic duo of McCollum and Lillard rounding up for the Western Conference. All right, now we're going to talk about the NHL playoffs. I take a deep breath and I'll tell you why. It goes a little something like this. We're just going to go ahead and get the Western Conference playoffs out the way. The Blues and the Fighting Joe Thorntons, a.k.a. the San Jose Sharks. San Jose is up 1-0, but going back to the East, man, I don't know what's going on. I guess the Boston Bruins like, you know what, since Kyrie and them let us down, Big Z and the rest of the Boston Bruins, y'all got to step up. And they jumped to a commanding 2-0 series lead against our beloved jerks, the Carolina Hurricanes. And be live, I know. Here you go. Be like, just say something. Just say something. I'm not gonna lead up. Just say something.
I'm gonna say this. I got my T-shirt in. I have my official Bunch of Jerks T-shirt, and I want to give a quick shout out to Mary Sampson, her mother, near and dear to my heart. She bought the shirt for me. She was in Raleigh the other day. Thank you so much for the shirt.
Shout out to Mary Sampson. Shout out.
So, I'm going to say this. The Carolina Hurricanes are looking a little bit like the New York Islanders in the last series that Carolina was in. The momentum, the rest and rust. Carolina does not look like the same team. Boston is beating them on all cylinders. And I'm going to say this. Maybe it's time for a goalie change. Peter Mrazek, he's been an awesome goalie throughout the season. He has gotten as far, but he got injured game 1 of the Islanders series. And then Curtis McElhinney came in and did his thing. Once again, the word momentum. You got to ride the hot hand. I would put McElhinney in for game 3. Come back to Raleigh. Freaking, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's get some of the Caniac noise, the storm surge. Raleigh, North Carolina this year has been a very tough place to play.
Yep.
And it's one of those things we need the rallying cry. And I think just to switch it up, because if Boston manages to get one of these games in Raleigh, it's a wrap. I'm just gonna say it. And as much as I am a fan, I've got to be a sports journalist, and I got to call it. Boston is the better team. Carolina has that it factor, but Boston showed up, and I think is it TD Garden that they play their hockey games too in?
Yep, in Boston.
Okay.
Yep.
And Boston brought the noise and just showed that they were the better team. They are the better team on paper. So hopefully that goalie change. This is a suggestion. Maybe they'll make an impact.
Yep. Scotty D, where you at? You probably don't give a damn at this point.
Really, I don't. I really don't.
Keeping it 100.
I'm telling you.
But just to acknowledge the fact that Boston in the East was the number 2 team overall all year. They had, other than the Lightning, who blew the roof off of the point system, Boston was second. So it's not like Boston was another team that kind of snuck in there. Carolina had a wave of momentum going, and maybe they're just running out of steam. And sometimes that happens when you get against a team that's more talented and or playing well. And it seems like that's what's going on here. I think Carolina gets one at home, but I agree. If Boston gets one in North Carolina, then it's over. I just think Boston's probably just going to come out of this because they're just better. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes just the better team wins. Sometimes the hot team wins. Sometimes the better team wins. And I think Boston's cooling off the hot team.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Brendamore, man, put Knuckle Handy back in there. I don't know what you're doing. Because obviously, these back-to-back performances of Peter Mrazek, it's not Peter Mrazek. Like, there's obviously something going on. He's obviously hurt somewhere, and it's obviously affecting his game because the Bruins are lighting him up every chance they get. And just like you guys said, man, if they split one, if they split 1-1 in North Carolina, man, look, and then got to go back to TD, man, look, Boston might have a chance to close out. I mean, it's a magical run, man. Just like you said, man, you rest versus rust. And the break wasn't that big between the series anyway. So, I don't know. Coach Brendan Moore, what you doing? Put the hot goalie back in there. Might be able to salvage the series. So 2-0, man. So let's see what these jerks can do once they go home in Raleigh and bring the storm surge, bring the noise, because looking kind of bleak. But hey, don't count them out. All right, speaking of counting people out, Scotty D, your Lakers. There's been a protest. There's been an uprising by the fans, management. This one gone. Kurt Rambis in. Kurt Rambis' wife running basketball operations. Kobe's agent. B-Live, say it.
What happened? What happened? What's going on? Talk to us, please, Scotty D, please.
I think I don't even know where to begin. I was going to say a lot of this has to do with LeBron. A lot of it has to do with Genie Bus. A lot of it has to do with Magic. It's everything, man. It's just a bunch of logs on the fire there. I think the light is at the end of the tunnel, though, because the legendary Frank Vogel is on his way to L.A. to be the next head coach. And if anybody if you know sports, if anybody can straighten it out, it's Frank Vogel.
Wow.
I don't know much about Frank Vogel. I know he's on his third team. Like all coaches in the NBA, they coach multiple teams, but
they call those retreads.
They're all retreads. The whole league is every coach except for Popovich, I think, is a retread. But, you look at the list of the guys that they were going to hire: Monty Williams, Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue was a done deal, and that didn't get done. And he was insulted because the Lakers only offered him 3 years. Man, they offered Luke 5 and then got rid of him after 2 or 3. I think 3. So quit offering 5-year deals. I understand that. I think when Luke Walton was hired to take that job, I think at that point in time he was the right guy for the job. But when LeBron came in, that changed it. That's a tricky situation. Who can manage LeBron? I mean, and LeBron could be the sticking point now. I mean, do free agents want to go there? Maybe not, because I don't want to play with LeBron. Do coaches want to go there? Maybe not, because of LeBron. I hate the fact that everything's hinging on LeBron at this point, and he couldn't even lead them to the playoffs this past year. So it's a scary time in LA. I look and I see a core of good young players out there, and that's not the story. The story is the mess in the front office, and can they attract free agents to play with LeBron? It's a rough time, man. I'm telling you.
On the next episode of LA Sports Drama, what happened with Jared Goff in the Super Bowl, and what the hell is going on with the Lakers?
Yeah.
See, I got to get my voice ready in case I might have a voiceover opportunity, because hey, man, I got to make some extra money somehow. You know what I'm saying? They were considering at the time, a who's who of coaches and retreads. J.B. Bickerstaff, son of the great coach Bernie Bickerstaff, the eventual hire Frank Vogel, Mike Woodson, and speaking of pulling straws, Juwan Howard was considered at one point, and even Jason Kidd.
Yeah,
but
the one name that I really always thought they may go after was Tom Thibodeau, and he wasn't one of the candidates really.
Yeah, Tom Thibodeau run those boys ragged, man. You don't want no ACL, no cartilage in your knees? Let me be your coach. I'll run the hell out of you. I'll run the hell out of you. So Frank Vogel wound up getting the job, and Jason Kidd will be an assistant on the newly revamped Lakers staff. Monty Williams was considered a candidate, but Phoenix went ahead and scooped him up on the 3rd of May. So be like, get up in this. Quick.
Oh boy. I'm going to call it what exactly it is. It is a dumpster fire.
I was trying to avoid that.
The Lakers have successfully done it again. They did it when Kobe was there. They banked everything Kobe's last couple of years. Congratulations, Kobe. Kobe, 5 championships, superstardom, everything there is about Kobe Bryant. Wonderful. But Kobe did the Lakers wrong the last couple of years that he was in the league. He still wanted a max contract, which didn't allow them to sign anybody else. Of course, the salary cap has changed and money's just everywhere now because the NBA decided to put a sticker on all of the jerseys and get all this extra revenue and blah blah blah.
Don't forget that TV deal from about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. So money's everywhere. But here's where the Lakers went wrong again. They think star power makes a team. LeBron James, I said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. LeBron James went to the Lakers not for basketball. He went there for Hollywood. That's why he's got 11 movies that he done made, Space Jam 2 and all this stuff. And LeBron James is going to get you 25 and 7 and 8 and all these stats and wonderful things. And he's done great things for the league and everything. But he is on the downside of his career, and he is using the Los Angeles Lakers as a tool to fuel his after basketball career. And it's
a springboard, a stepping stone, if you will.
Right. And now the Los Angeles Lakers fans have to suffer once again with an aging, older superstar that's not making the franchise any better. Their future is not looking bright. What free agent would even remotely think about coming over to this dumpster fire of an organization?
Kyrie.
Clay.
That's not happening. I'm going to tell you right now.
We don't know that yet.
And
I hope it's not Kyrie. Just for the record.
You know what would be funny though? If Kyrie and Clay went to the Clippers.
That would be the ultimate FU middle finger to LeBron James, the Jenny Bus, and all the mess that's going on. Frank Vogel is a puppet. Tom Thibodeau would have never went there because Tom Thibodeau he don't play mess.
He don't play that.
He
don't.
Tom Thibodeau is going to coach. LeBron James does not allow coaches to coach. That's why Tyronn Lue was like, hold on. If I'm going to deal with LeBron James the second time, y'all going to have to give me a little bit more than what y'all been giving me. Because here's the thing about Tyronn Lue. I think he's starting to think that, only success that I've ever had as an NBA coach is directly linked to LeBron James. Tyronn Lue does not have a name for himself.
Nope.
He's literally, his entire career in the NBA has been stepped over, literally and figuratively.
Ooh, you beat me to it.
They ought to just go ahead and pull the old Bill Russell move and let LeBron be like the player coach.
At this point, why not?
Yeah, he may as well just be the head coach as well.
And at that point in time, you might as well just say, screw the entire franchise, because once again, LeBron James made it perfectly clear as soon as the season was over, he's already on the gram and on the videotaping himself and working out and whatever, and laughing it off like it ain't no big deal that you missed the playoffs. You were under 500, like it was no big deal. Nah, I need my superstar player to be a little bit more serious than that. I don't know. It's just
let me chime in on this for a second, because I do kind of agree with one of the points you made, and that's that the Lakers look to have a superstar. And if you're LA, you kind of have to. And if LeBron James says, I want to come play there, you kind of got to take him. But to go back to I think to go all the way back to Kobe is going back a little too far. If you remember, in Kobe's last couple of years, the Lakers went all in. They went and got Steve Nash and Dwight Howard, who both at the time that was like considered to be another pretty big three, a triple threat there. That obviously didn't work out because Dwight Howard just fizzled and he opted out and he'd been hurt and all that.
Oh man, that fell flat.
That felt really bad. But the Lakers went into rebuild mode and drafted some nice players. They drafted Julius Randle and D'Angelo Russell, and they were kind of starting to tick upward, and they just scrapped that plan to go in for the superstar again. Now they have no choice really but to go in and try to find another max player, and they can afford it. They can have that on the books this year because all those players they signed last year were basically 1-year deal kind of guys. So their books are going to be open. It's just a matter of trying to draw the right guy. Will Kawhi Leonard go there? I don't know if he's a fit with LeBron. I don't know how he feels about that. He might like Toronto. He might like because that brother just wants to play ball. He doesn't care about the limelight as much. So it's going to be an interesting summer to see what happens, not just with the Lakers, but with all these guys becoming fluid pieces in the league.
I think Kawhi will wind up staying in. I think Toronto's gonna go ahead and throw that bag at him. They're gonna throw the bag at him, no matter how this season ends. I think Toronto will do the right thing, in my opinion. This is one man's opinion, and throw the bag at Kawhi Leonard. Just like I said, got rid of one player and added another one, and look how instantly better the Raptors became. We can't call them the first round, the first round floozies no more. Can't do it. Awkward laugh and big hands and defense and all. Hey, I just want to play ball. That's all you want to do. All you want to do is wear his cornrows and play ball and just be low key. But his game ain't nothing low key about his game though. Put it in your face. You can believe that.
He's nice.
Right.
Yep. All right. Speaking of in your face, we are going to the listener section of the show. I gave it the name The Gallery, but there's nothing quiet about our listeners. They're a rowdy bunch. If there are any names that you, the listeners, want to give your section of this, because this is your section of the show, we give you a platform for you to tell us what you feel and response and everything. If you have any ideas, suggestions, comments, anything as far as like the listener section goes, as far as like wanting us to rename your section, hit us up. And I'm going to let you know it's going down in the SportsBros DMs. It's going down for sure. So hit us up. Facebook like page at SportsBros Podcast. All right, Scotty D, introduce this week's question.
What was it? The overrated.
Oh man,
who do you feel? Yeah, I'm sorry. I lapsed for a second there. Who do you feel is the most overrated player out there in sports? Who is your most overrated guy? Doesn't live up to the hype.
All right, most overrated. Since this is the listener section, we're going to take a trip. Ooh, we got some good participation. And see what the listener said this week. Eli Kavanaugh. Shout out to Eli, the number one heel. Best in the world, Craig. Number one heel. Eli Kavanaugh said LeBron James. And he cites the following. It was a long, lengthy post on the SportsBros Podcast Facebook like page. Go check it out. I'm going to just summarize it here right fast. LeBron James, he's an amazing athlete. Even though he asks for players' help, but he throws his coaches under the bus, and he's supposed to make players better. To him, can't deny the athletic ability, but hype and glamour is what makes him overrated.
All valid points.
Yep.
And very much so. Like exactly what I was talking about before. LeBron James, overrated. That's a very strong word. I mean, does have 3 championships. 2 of those may be attributed to Kyrie and Ray Allen, But LeBron James, I mean, you can see clearly a difference of when he's on a team, when he's not on a team. But like I said, this year should not be a testament to who he actually is. This is his downside. This is him not caring about basketball as much. And that's why people are such in just, oh my God, LeBron is overrated. Nothing against my man Eli. This is the telltale sign of being overrated. But when he put that pen to paper, 4 years, 153 million. That was just a fact of, hey, bros, he gets paid for what he did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. He's like, all right, I'm getting paid. I'm gonna still do my LeBron things, 25, 8, and 7. But as far as developing other players, as far as like being that ultra athlete that he's been, doesn't need to be anymore. He's got the movie deals. He's got an entertainment conglomerate. So I don't know. That's just always be my thing about LeBron James.
Yeah, not to mention, man, this is his first time taking an actual max contract. I mean, it shows his unselfishness to a point, but and then just like Eli said, he's an athlete. After players gets help somehow, some way. His coaches get mysteriously thrown up under the bus. He's supposed to be there to make, pay himself and players around him better. The hype and glamour is what makes him overrated. All right. Our other sports bro, JR speaks.
Here we go.
JR, you got heat. You got heat with this one.
Let me get ready for this one. All right, come on, bro.
He said the most overrated, and they might bust up his inbox too. He said Tom Brady. All right. Then he said Kevin Durant.
It must have been a late night at the bar when JR decided to go with that response. Tom Brady's overrated?
Oh, boy, here we go. Oh,
is that what he said?
Here we go. Kevin Durant, all right, overrated. And he said, and anybody that plays for the Dallas Cowboys, because he's a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
What a surprise.
And the Clemson Tigers. He's a South Carolina Gamecocks fan. I'm going to let y'all have this. I'm going to step back and just let y'all just.
But how can you take someone seriously who's telling you Tom Brady's overrated? How can you take that seriously? Oh, JR, you're my boy, but dang on it, man. Tom Brady is your pick? Or maybe the only game he ever watched Brady play, he played against Nick Foles and lost that game. So could be that Eagles bias. They beat Brady, so maybe that's it. I don't know. I can't find where a rational thought came through there.
Oh,
no. I appreciate the both of y'all and the effort that y'all put in to make JR sound like he's got any sense in the world. I'm not going to allow it. I'm going to channel my inner Stephen A. Smith, the blasphemy, the unmitigated gall. Are you kidding me? Are you what? Hold on, JR. You got exactly what you asked for. I know right now you want the three of us to be talking about your name and the silliness that came out of your mouth. I'm not even going to. How dare you call freaking anybody from the Clemson Tigers overrated? Are you kidding me? You're a Gamecock fan? Outside of Alshon Jeffrey and Jonathan Joseph, who else is in the league right now? How dare you, sir? Just stop it. But I'm not even going to, you know what? I'm not even going to talk that much about my Clemson Tigers. I'm not going to do it because you just want to, you wanted just to throw in a little jab. But Kevin Durant? Overrated? You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this just for that statement alone. I appreciate your support, but you are cut off for a week. Go sit in a corner. You will not be allowed to answer next week's listener section. Oh boy, I tell you what,
He made the list.
JR, you made the list, all right? You're on the list, okay? You are. Matter of fact, you know what that means, don't you? You just made the list. Wait a minute. Clicking the pen. Corey Rayner, he also states that Malcolm Butler and James Harden are both overrated. I can see, well, I don't know, man. I've never found Malcolm Butler to be a premier cornerback. Anyway, I just found Malcolm Butler to be in the right place and the right time because he's with Tennessee. And has he done anything with Tennessee since leaving New England? Exactly. All right. Anthony Wilson also said James Harden. So we got what? 2 for James Harden?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, I got 2 for James Harden.
That could be a whole segment within itself, but I mean that goes without saying. James Harden,
Yep.
you just unfortunately you're just in the wrong era. Really, you fell into the trap of the Golden State, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant era because it's a strong possibility that James Harden could have been that man. He could have been that dude. I will say this about him. No. See, I see where you're trying to go with this. I see. You're gonna let me get this point across. But James Harden could have been that dude. He has definitely revolutionized the game. He's definitely like the whole 0 step back. All the steps that he takes, got on my traveling shoes, y'all. He's gotten away with it. He's a scoring machine, and like it's hard to stop him.
Maybe that could be why he's overrated because he cowers away in big moments.
I will agree with you on that because
hey man, classic case of playing hard and really, really hard, and then when it really counts, you just don't show up, or the gas tank is on E, but all drinks on me, wipe me down. Donnie Dicer, hey, what's up, Donnie? A new listener to the podcast. He says that Zion Williamson is overrated.
Too soon.
That's a hot one. That's a hot take.
Ooh, that's a definite hot one because he could end up very well being overrated. But Scotty D, you said it best. Too soon. Like once he gets to the league, give me a couple years of evaluation how he handles the league.
David Richardson Allen has a good one. Scott, you might like this one. Sidney Crosby. And I'll tell you why he says Sidney Crosby is because he's a Capitals fan. He's a Caps fan. So Scotty D, I'll just let you publicly eviscerate Mr. David Allen Richardson.
I'm assuming that guy was sitting next to JR at the bar where they were making their picks. That's all I'll say.
I got friends in low place.
Yeah.
Who plays?
3 Stanley Cups.
Oh my goodness!
He's overrated.
I got nothing to say.
I told him, I said, you got heat, right? You know you're gonna get heat. You're gonna get all kind of heat. This lets you know when we say heat, we ain't talking about them things, them pistols, them poop piles. It is a wrestling term for garnering a reaction, preferably a negative reaction that doesn't look good. But
yeah.
Sometimes we get heat, we don't even know it. All right, Be Live. Now it's your turn.
All right. I told my fellows earlier when we spoke that mine is going to be a shocker, and I did a little bit more research, and I'm sticking to it. My overrated player, and this is for you, Stephen A. Smith, first take, is Aaron Rodgers. I, honest to God, think he's overrated. He's a bad man. He's got 1 championship. He's got one. He was a MVP. I think he's talented. But the amount of times I have heard that Aaron Rodgers is the baddest man on the planet, he's the best quarterback, and this, that, and the third. I'm sorry. The best quarterback in the planet
Didn't even go to the
What was
playoffs.
Green
Didn't even
Bay's
go to the
record
playoffs.
last year? Where they go 5-11? Not even. They didn't even scratch the surface of the playoffs. You supposed to be the baddest man on the planet. I'm sorry. I know a quarterback can only do but so much. But I'm talking about freaking Baker Mayfield went 7-8-1 with the Cleveland Browns. With who? I mean, I know they went through a couple of injuries, but for somebody to be the baddest quarterback and all this extra talent and everything, I don't know. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the league anymore. I don't think he. I think he showed it a couple of seasons. He's been the NFL. He's been the MVP. I think 3 times, and he's definitely shown it. But the amount of he's a bad man, I just
That's a good call. I can see
I
that.
would expect more.
Very interesting
I
take
just
there, B. I
expected
like
more.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's a gambler. Gunslinger, if you will. I mean, he did learn from one of the best. And I recently listened to a podcast that talked about the relationship between him and Brett Favre. And quite interesting to say the least. I'm trying to see what how many MVPs did he win?
Aaron Rodgers. I want to say I had it pulled up just a second ago. I want to say 3.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It was only 2. 2-time MVP. Pro Bowl 7 times. 2 times first team All Pro. And I mean, he was Super Bowl champion, MVP. So he's got accolades. He definitely has accolades. But just to be consistently put up there in the list of quarterbacks that we have today, freaking Eli Manning has more Super Bowls. Boy, I just read that too. You're kidding me.
Okay. Kirk Cousins. You like that. And not as much as you think we like it. This just goes to show the classic case of how getting rid of something and getting something replace it to make it better. This one, it kind of backfires. Now, you remember when Minnesota had all that success with journeyman Case Keenum. Yeah, that's right. Case Keenum, who was, when we last saw Case Keenum, was playing for the Denver Broncos, and it wound up being the drizzling. But somehow, some way, Case Keenum was able to put it together in Minnesota and make it awesome, wonderful, and a miracle. Then in comes Kirk Cousins, where Washington could not, for like how many times? For the 15th, umpteenth time, could not agree to give this man no money. I don't know why, because Daniel Snyder, you got all the money in the world, signing Albert Hainsworth, the big contracts, grabbing Deion Sanders. You're just grabbing people. How can you not sign this man to be the quarterback of your team? I'm finna go off. Kirk Cousins signed a deal with the Minnesota Vikings, okay? For a fully guaranteed deal, 3 years, $84 million. Is he worth the money? I don't know. But I'm tired of people acting like, oh man, Kirk Cousins this, he's that, he this, he's that. Yeah, the boy can throw the ball. That's about all he can
do. He's $84 million. No. He's definitely nowhere near worth that.
Chemistry. As my man said in one of Medea movies, learn your chemistry. Chemistry is key. Chemistry is important. Adam Thielen had a hell of a season last year through the grace of his own abilities, but Kirk Cousins, I don't get it, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Speaking of broken, should be fixed, Russell Westbrook. I know I'm going to catch heat for this. I don't care. IDONTCARE. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? You had the opportunity when you had yourself, KD, James Harden, and Serge Ibaka to actually make some noise if you guys want to stay together. It all started when James Harden was like, you know what? I told him, give me $50 million or I'm going to quit. Well, he went to Houston and got what he wanted. KD was like, you know what? Really can't play with this dude like this. So he goes to Golden State and wins a couple rings and just might win a third. And then Serge Ibaka, he got bounced around from Orlando to Toronto, and he's doing Serge Ibaka things. So, is this the third season that he's averaged a triple-double?
Yes, it is.
What good is it? What good is it doing him? Dame time doesn't wave you off the court during the playoffs. Bye-bye. 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 3 years averaging triple-double. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to play like that. That's not an amazing feat. It is an amazing feat. But the way that he plays, I'm going to go on a limb and say it. Strike a match. And I'm going to tell you why. And light that torch up. Because I believe that James Harden will win a championship before Russell Westbrook will. His player style it's not, no. No. You're scoring all the points. You're dishing all the assists. And you're getting all the rebounds. Let's just go ahead and name Oklahoma City the Oklahoma City Fighting Westbrooks at this point. Overrated. Yeah, I said it. All right, Scotty D. What you got going on?
Yeah, I guess. All right.
What?
I'm on the fence with agreeing and disagreeing with you on that Westbrook thing. But anyway, if you would ask me this question 2 years ago, I would have had no problem telling you Chris Paul. But Chris Paul kind of made a little bit of a believer out of me last year in the way he fought in the playoffs. I mean, he asked B-Live if he didn't get hurt, they would have beat the Warriors. So Chris Paul is Chris Paul is not my most overrated.
Wow.
I actually considered Conor McGregor because that guy has turned himself into the ultimate hype machine.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not really as he's not living up to. I mean, he's not even fighting really. His last fight, he got dominated. Nate Diaz beat him. Fought Floyd Mayweather, which I guess he wasn't really expected to win that, but
chasing a check. A check.
Conor's a little overrated, I think. But I think people that really follow MMA probably wouldn't rate him as high as he rates himself. So my true pick is Clayton Kershaw. And that's just because I don't watch a ton of Dodgers games, but I watch a ton of Major League Baseball postseason games. I watch them all, really. And every year, whenever this guy gets on the mound in the postseason, he gets beat up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the best, like they say you're the best, you got to be bigger in the postseason. Madison Bumgarner is the guy, if you watch his postseason career, you couldn't touch him in the playoffs. Clayton Kershaw went out on an annual basis. The Dodgers made the playoffs the last 6 consecutive years, and every year Clayton Kershaw gets touched up. So I think Clayton Kershaw is my most overrated guy just because the baseball pundits will tell you how awesome he is. And I know during the regular season he throws that big swooping curveball and no one can touch it. But in October, man, that thing's sailing over the fence. So Clayton Kershaw, overrated. Yep. So next week, let's talk about what our interactive question is going to be for next week. And if you guys got something you want to name the gallery or the choices of the voices, however you want to do.
Choices of the voices.
The choices of the voices. We're giving the voice to our listeners and listen to their choices. So maybe the choices of the voices for next week. We're just going to ask this simple question. Who do you think is currently the best announcer in sports? I'm not talking about studio analysts or like the ESPN halftime shows or NBA halftime shows. Talking about actual play-by-play or color announcers that are going on during game time. So I'm interested to hear what people think about that topic.
A round of pepper. If you've been listening, you know how it goes. We take three takes, 3 opinions, and opine on them in short order, and it's rotational. So I'll go first. My number 1 pepper point this week goes out to Telvin Smith, Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker, said he is going to step away from football to get my world in order. as an athlete, you want to make sure you can be able to concentrate and perform at a high level. But when you got certain things in your world's not going on, you might need to address that. So take care of that, brother, and hopefully we'll see you in 2020. Scotty D, what you got?
Yeah, I wish I had the checking account where I could step away for a year and get my world in order. Anyway, I watched the UFC pay-per-view from Brazil this past weekend. And before that came on the air, I know a couple of days prior to that, I saw ESPN was reporting that Anderson Silva was about to sign a 3-fight extension. Please don't. Please don't do that. What? Please retire Anderson Silva. I watched you fight the other night, and it's just breaking my heart. Same with BJ Penn. He got his clock cleaned the other night. And guys like Chuck Liddell, they hang on too long. The fight game is a young man's game. Please don't hurt your legacy, Anderson Silva. Please retire. Be like George St. Pierre. Just step away.
Yeah. Young man sport, man. Young man sport. Be live. Behind the back, no look past you. Arvita Sabonis style. You like that, don't you?
Yeah, I like it. Let me get that rock. So check it out. I'm gonna go across the pond, and I want to give a quick shout out to NBC Universal because they showed 10 Premier League soccer matches.
Oh God. That's
yesterday
your point.
on all of their
You're sitting with JR
NBC.
in the box. Get in the box.
Hush your. Okay, first of all, just because you want to be America and the rest of the world, literally the rest of the world watches this sport. It is their number one sport. You should. God, right. How dare you, sir? I want to give props where props is due to Manchester City for winning back-to-back Premier League championships, and to a couple good friends out there, Joe Tex, Sampson, they're diehard Liverpool fans. They will get another opportunity at the Champions League final against Tottenham on June. So I am rooting for Liverpool because I know how passionate their fans are. And again, Manchester City back-to-back, awesome achievement by them. I'm gonna throw the ball to Eddie Cool. Scotty D, you leave me alone.
My number 2 pepper point. I don't know if I mentioned this between us having conversations or on the podcast, but Jason Pierre-Paul, also known as JPP. You remember the guy that had the worst luck of the past few years. First of all, having his fingers blowed up by some fireworks. And he recently got in a one-car crash and resulted in him not being able to play the next season. Not so fast, my friends, in the words of the great ball coach, Lee Corso. JPP, the injury to his neck, it might not be as bad as originally diagnosed. So that means we may, we just might, a glimmer of hope, we might be able to see him play this season, although the organization, smart on their part, will give him a lengthy timetable to get everything together. Make sure his neck is good, because when that neck good, you'll be better too. If anybody needs a break, it is Jason Pierre-Paul, especially over the last few years. So, JPP, take your time, get your neck right, and we'll see you back on the gridiron soon. I'm going to pass this one to Scotty D.
Good point, except that whenever your hand gets blown off by fireworks, that's not bad luck. That's stupidity.
Yeah. You should know better.
I feel bad about the car accident thing, though, so I hope he gets back playing well again. A couple years ago, Kevin Durant joined the Warriors, and when he did, he changed the complexion of that team. And I think this past Friday night, we got a look at what could have been if Kevin Durant hadn't joined that team. I think we forgot about how great Steph Curry really is, because he deferred his game to Durant. He took that role of letting Durant be the lead guy. But when that season was on the other line the other night, Steph Curry scored 35 points in the second half, and he was shaking and baking in that fourth quarter, man, and you couldn't stop him. Steph Curry is the greatest shooter probably of all time in basketball, the greatest I've ever seen. And I just think it was kind of nice to see. As much as I'm tired of watching the Warriors, how he stepped to the forefront and made us all realize how really underappreciated that guy is.
It all started that one night at Madison Square Garden in 2013. I remember that game.
All right, B Live, over to you, buddy. Pepper to you.
And speaking of, all right, my second pepper point. This is going to be a little bit controversial, but it needs to be said, I do believe. Adam Silver, the commissioner of NBA, wants just as many women coaches and refs as there are men in the league. He wants it to be 50-50 in the NBA, which I'm on the fence about that. Really, I'm not on the fence. Let me just be real. You have a product for women. You have the WNBA. Why are you trying to gender equality the NBA when you have a product that honestly should get more investments, better TV deals? Like, because it's just not, honestly, I think the WNBA could be better than what it is if it got a little bit more better exposure. It's just the WNBA falls into the same boat as the Alliance and the XFL when it comes to football. You've pushed it off as a byproduct, a side product, and really, like, at the end of the day, like, you could do leaps and bounds, but you're now putting more energy into putting more female refs into a man's game. I don't think it's the best look. I think that is maybe why the Lakers want to have Kurt Rambis's wife run the team. I don't know. Is that something that's going on? Is that what they're trying to do? They're trying to switch up the game? It's not. I don't think it's a good look. I see what they may be trying to do, but it's just, you have a product that you could invest more into. I don't know. That's just my thought on that.
I think, yeah, man, you make some real valid points, be like, but it's all about equality and everything. I mean, look at what the NFL has done. You know, they have women line judges, and I think some of them are, team managers. I don't know to what extent, but some of our team managers. I mean, look at the WWE, for example. They have they have a female referee. I don't know her name, but they do have a female referee. So, but like you said, man, it's they're treated like a byproduct. No. This is tightly affiliated with you. So how come they can't get that money and promotion? And the thing about it is, those girls can ball in the WNBA. But like you said, B-Live, it's all about exposure.
Right.
If you don't believe us about it being exposure, just ask anybody that work for WCW, okay, about exposure. Just ask anybody that worked for any of the failed spring leagues, okay? That exposure is key, man. It is key.
And the thing about it is, and I understand integration. I really do. Like in NFL, I get it. I get it because that is a male sport. There really is, like, women are very knowledgeable when it comes to the sport, and they should have those opportunities. The NBA, on the other hand, they have a product for that. That right there just. And the thing about it is, there's opportunities for women coaches in the NBA.
My third pepper point is I want to wish a happy belated birthday to all-world professional skateboarder Tony Hawk, who celebrated his 51st birthday on Sunday. Exactly. I didn't know he was 51, and he's an ageless wonder. I'm pretty sure we all either had some friends that had the shoes or played the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video game via you bought it or downloaded or just got it on the demo disc. So shout out and happy birthday to the one and only, the pioneer, the Don Dada, Tony Hawk. Have we covered all the pepper points, fellas? We covered everything?
One more round.
Ooh, yeah. Scotty D. Boom, there you go.
Yeah, man. I know we've been talking about making our predictions for the NBA for the postseason here, and I'm going to tell you who I think the best team is It's Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenneth Smith, and Erna. Man, are they not the best to watch whenever you're wrapping up a game like that? I watch the ESPN telecast, and I hear Doris bark, and it just makes me sad that she's destroying basketball. And then I put on TNT, and there's these guys, and they make watching basketball worth it, man. That's, to me, the best team in the NBA is on TNT. Be Live, put a bow on this. I know you talk WNBA and soccer. I can't wait to hear what your third point is.
Wow. That's okay. That's okay. Because I'm just going to finish it off with this. I don't even really have a point. I'm just going to say I am looking forward to the Preakness. I'm going to go from soccer to WNBA to horse racing just because. I'm just going to sign out on that.
Rory McIlroy going to win the PGA Championship
Drop
this weekend, boys. I'm picking it. Rory McIlroy.
Oh, bold prediction. Rory McIlroy to win that. All right, fellas. Well, guess what? It is the end, not of the podcast altogether. It's the end of episode 10. 10-piece Cajun dry rub with some fries. Sounds like I might have to hit up Oscar's in North Myrtle Beach when I take my annual wing night. Yes. I'm trying not to break stuff in my house. I just got excited. Stuff is falling. It's falling. But shout out to Oscar's Sports Bar and Grill for some of those so good wings. Buffalo Wild Wings. You better watch your backside. All right, with that being said, Be Live, where can they reach you?
Well, you can reach me. You can catch me on Twitter. You can catch me on Instagram with the tag This Be Your Boy, Be Live, be without the I, THS, BEYABOYBLIVE. Yes, sir. You can catch me on those. We have actually linked my Instagram account with the SportsBros Podcast. So on my Instagram, you also get highlights and updates from SportsBros Podcast. You can catch me on our Facebook like page. That's where I usually post what happened Wednesdays. And at any point in time you actually want to see what I do for a living, come check me out at Max Speed Shop here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, 482 North McPherson Church Road. Got all the big screens, all the big games will be at my spot. The good burgers, smoked wings, brisket, ribs, all we do a pig right.
He is also on Facebook as well too. And me, the HOC up in this thing.
Love it, man.
Eddie Cool. You can reach me on Facebook. Eddie Cool, of course. Also at the Sports Bros like page at the Sports Bros. Shout out to the Chiweenie in the background. I'm leaving that in. Take two.
Oh my goodness. Peter, just please don't. Please don't.
All right, take two. Take two.
Oh,
you can reach me the HOC, the head of creative, on Facebook, of course. Also, I'm breaking down the fourth wall. You can check me out at my 9-to-5, the Cheesecake Factory in Westlake, Ohio. Come in, check me out. Let's talk sports. If you see me running around like a chick with my head cut off, that means I'm getting money, paying bills. But if you want to talk about sports, come through, chop it up with me. My managers won't yell at me. Hopefully they won't. Also, you can check me out on Instagram. Cool Season, all one word. Snapchat, Super Cool 5000. The word Super Cool, number 5000, all together. And The Real Eddie Cool on Twitter. And don't forget to check us out on our Twitter accounts. At the Sports Bros Podcast. Sports Bros Podcast. Also, rate, review, subscribe, listen, tell your friends, share. Shout out to Sweden. Yes, we haven't forgot about you, Sweden. Also popping up on the map, Ontario, Canada. Oh, Canada. I'll learn it. I won't butcher it, but yes. Shout out to them as well too. All right, fellas. Any last minute things you want to say We good to go?
No, I think we are good to go. JR,
You're in the penalty box,
son. You're an idiot.
All right. For
You're
the money
an
man,
idiot.
Scotty
Right,
D,
that's it.
and the almighty Be Live, I am the head of creative here at SportsBros Podcast, Eddie Cool. And in parting, we want to say thanks for listening. And also, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else too. It ain't all about you all the time. They'll greatly appreciate it. We are the SportsBros Podcast. Thanks for listening.